Hello and welcome to the 63rd Annual Apple Festival. It is day 3 and we're wrapping up an amazing weekend in Bayfield with the grand parade down Rittenhouse Avenue. Thank you so much to Sweet and Salty. We are on top of their roof right now, bringing you this broadcast live on our website and on our Facebook page. So thank you to Sweet and Salty for letting us use this space. As you can probably tell and see, it is very windy. The winds are picking up here this afternoon here in Bayfield. It's still a very warm day. We'll see if it rains at all. It might rain, it might not. Who knows? You never know with Lake Superior. So we've been watching the weather pretty closely. And we're just a few minutes out from the Grand Parade. The Grand Parade goes on, rain or shine. I can't say the same for me, though, because we might have to cut off this live stream short if it does start raining. So just so you know. And woo, that was another wind gust. So I think I heard wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour. And we're up above the crowd. So people are getting into their place to watch the parade. Again, thank you so much to Sweet and Salty. And if you haven't been to Sweet and Salty in Bayfield, they have candy, they have popcorn, they have ice cream. My personal favorite is the waffle cones. They make their own waffle cones, and I'm ruined. I can never have a store-bought waffle cone ever again because of their waffle cones. So kudos to them. Please get one if you haven't yet. It is awesome. So we've had an amazing Apple Festival, 63rd Apple Festival in Bayfield. It has been hot, and sunny. And some of the vendors here were saying they've been here for 20 years and they've never had this good of weather. So, and this is the first time that I've even been able to be out here the last 5 years of Apple Festival that I've been here, out here in shorts and a t-shirt. So we've really appreciated that. The winds are picking up now, but we're going to put on a great parade, and it's going to start here in just a minute or two. I can hear the bands up on Rittenhouse. They're getting ready. People down here are scurrying to find a good spot to watch. And there goes a cannon to start the parade with a bang, of course. Kind of forgot that would happen. So I was, while we wait for the parade to come down Rittenhouse here, I had to do a little bit of research in my spare time, midnight last night. And I saw a YouTube video of one of the first parades for Apple Festival. It was from 1972. And so in that, 1973, but that was the third time they had taped the parade. So this parade, the Grand Parade here in Bayfield, has been taped since 1970. I don't know if it's been taped consecutively throughout since then or not, but it provided some fun little tidbits that I can share with you throughout the festival. And apparently there was a Packer game going on at the time. They even announced the Packers score on the YouTube channel or to everybody watching. And I think the Packers were playing the Giants in 1973. And I don't remember the score at the time. I don't think that there's a Packer game going on today, though. So, which is why we have all the crowds here, because we're in Wisconsin. And since there's no Packers game, there's nothing better to watch than the Grand Parade in Bayfield. All right, any minute now, we're going to see the police department escorting the bands and the floats. They should be coming down just beyond that tree any second, because I can hear them coming. So I want to give another big thank you to Sweet and Salty, our sponsor here, for letting us be on the roof to broadcast this live on our website and on our Facebook page. This is the first time we, the Bayfield Chamber, have done this that I'm aware of. So this is a pretty exciting day. This has been an awesome Apple Festival. Like I said, couldn't have asked for better weather. And I think maybe you can hear the sirens and all that in the background. I also want to thank the Bayfield Inn for being a sponsor of Apple Festival. They have helped us out the last 5 years with the $10,000 in matching funds for the Music Match Fund, which has helped us bring in live music and have live music at 2 venues throughout the festival. One down here on Rittenhouse Avenue at the grandstand stage and another at Memorial Park. And because of Kim and Keto Reamer, we've been able to provide that for everyone here throughout the weekend, with also donations from folks who have done some matching funds, which has been amazing. So thank you so much to them for supporting that fund for the last 5 years and helping us bring live music to the grandstand stage and Rittenhouse and Memorial Park for all 3 days. It's quite a feat. All right, people are still trying to find their spots. I saw some lady, I think I think her apple crisp went flying. I saw somebody drop that. Whoops. The wind is pretty, now it kind of dies down and then it picks up really fast. So yeah, hold on to your hats, folks. But if you're watching this, you're probably not out here. So anyway, I also saw a kid trying to chase his plastic bag down the road that he's going to gather all that candy in. All right. I hear the police department and the fire department. I want to give a big shout out to all of our volunteers who have helped us out throughout the 3-day weekend. It's long days and hours to make sure that everybody has a great Apple Festival and it's a safe Apple Festival. So thank you to all of our volunteers. We seriously could not do this without you. So, and for anybody who's not aware, Apple Festival is put on by the Bayfield Chamber and Visitor Bureau. So it is myself and my executive director, Carol Fahrencrew, and then my coworker, marketing manager, Jeff Fuller, and I'm Katie Anderson. I'm the public relations manager. Us three work all year round to bring you a good time here, the first full weekend in October. Apple Festival is always the first full weekend, so that means whenever the first Friday of October is, that is when Apple Festival is. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If in October the first Friday, or if the first day of October lands on a Saturday, we'll have Apple Festival the next weekend where it lands on a Friday. So first full weekend. All right, we're still waiting for those emergency vehicles to come down. They should be coming down just beyond that tree any second now. They're having a good time up there. The parade starts at the intersection of Rittenhouse and 6th Street. So they got a little ways to come before they get here, but it gives the people attending some time to find a perfect place to sit, grab that last caramel apple or apple brat or whatever you need. There's been some amazing food. All right, now I'm starting to see the police department. Again, I just want to say thank you to Chief Novak for all of his work throughout the year to make this Apple Festival a safe one for everybody, not just the people attending, but also our vendors and our staff. We're so happy this year. We added another police officer to our little town of just 572 or so year-round residents. So we now have 2 police officers. It's pretty exciting. They've done a really great job of monitoring everyone. The Bayfield County Sheriff's Department also has done an awesome job of keeping everyone safe. Bayfield EMS, Bayfield Fire Department. Looks like we got a vintage fire truck right behind the police department there with people tossing a little bit of candy. So it's great. And hopefully they don't toss it too hard because the wind might pick it up and then we don't want candy hitting people in the face. Oh my goodness. Well, that makes some good TV, right? I wish I need a co-host next year, I think, but someone else to talk to. All right. So So here they come, the first part of the parade. We have a great lineup for you. Of course, a favorite is the mass band. And I learned a little bit about the mass band, which will be at the very end of the parade. The mass band started in 1987. And today we're going to have 8 schools participating in the mass band, and they'll be playing on Wisconsin. And thank you to Bill and Marilyn Van Zant for supporting the mass band for several years. You can catch that. They'll be at the very end of the parade. So once the parade goes, those 8 bands will line up again and come on down for one more. Come on down again. All right, we got the vintage Bayfield Fire Department truck going by. Then we got another police ATV coming down. This is great. Great way to start it out. So as I said, we've had a really great weekend here in Bayfield. It's been sunny. It's been downright hot. But everyone is loving it, including us. I got a little distracted. There's a lot going on down there of people lining up. We got the fire department now coming up with all their trucks and gear. It's awesome. This is quite a showing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trucks. But hey, it's Bayfield. It's our time to shine. Our time to shine. Take that back. I think there's 7 trucks. I didn't see that one too. I think that's also part of the Redcliffe Fire Department is also out here as well. Eight trucks. They just keep coming. A few times just to let you experience the sounds of the parade. But now here we have the VFW, the Dwayne Sawyer Memorial VFW Post 8239 Auxiliary. Thank you to them for their service. And the Auxiliary Post actually hosts several events throughout the year. I believe they do a meat raffle, which is always a good time, and get some good meat. And their next event will be on Veterans Day on November 11th at Legendary Waters Resort and Casino. So, and everybody's standing up and clapping for our VFW folks. Like I said, they host events throughout the year, and their next event is going to be at Legendary Waters Resort and Casino on Veterans Day, which of course is November 11th. All right. All right, up next after them is going to be the Bayfield High School Band. They definitely take their time coming down the parade. Of course, it is a Bayfield in their hometown, so they want to make sure that people in every section of the town get to see their performance. So I can hear them coming, and we'll see how long it takes till we can see them on camera. Until then, I mentioned it's been an awesome Apple Festival, and it's even been a record-breaking Apple Festival. And what I mean by that is we had the apple peeling contest on Saturday at the grandstand stage, and we broke a record. The new record that was set yesterday is now a 442-inch peel, and you can watch a replay of the awards on our Facebook page, the Bayfield Apple Festival Facebook page, and see who won. But her name is Patricia Holstetter, and she's from Goshen, Indiana. So she peeled a apple peel that was 442 inches, which is now set a new record here, at least at Apple Festival. I'll have to do some more research to see if this is a world record. I don't know. That would really put Bayfield on the map in a great way. So she got first place in the apple peeling contest. That's Patricia. And she was here last year even doing the apple peeling contest, and she blew her old record. She blew her old peel out of the water. Last year in 2024 was her first time at Apple Festival, and she peeled about a 317-inch peel. This year, she broke her own record and set a new one of 442 inches. In second place, we had Brett Lakey from St. Paul with 212 inches, and then Area Fine from Minneapolis with 147 inches. That was in the adult category. And then in the children's category, or the kids category, we had Connor Hendrick with a 107-inch peel, Sierra from Hermantown with a 62-inch peel, and then Audrey with a 58-inch peel. So we had a great turnout. We had about 40 or so apple peelers turn up to peel an apple. It's a lot harder than you would think. I've tried it, and I can't peel an apple to save my life. I need, at least not with a paring knife. I like to use a actual peeler on those. And we had wonderful Wolf River apples from Hauser Superior View Farm for the apple peeling contest. All right, I'm starting to see the Bayfield High School color guard. Here they come, and I might just be quiet for a little bit so you guys can see and hear and experience the performance. Of course, and the band director this year is Brett Homer. It's his first year as a high school band director. They're always so fun to watch, and they're of course going to be in the mass band later down Rittenhouse Avenue. The wind just picked up again a little bit, so hopefully you guys can hear, and if the cameras shake, that's why. All right, they're stopping and going to do a little performance. All right, here they come. This is the Bayfield High School band. We got the color guard in front, looking great. I love their uniforms, so professional. And again, the band director is Brett Palmer. This is his first Apple Festival as a band director, so he's done a really great job, and I think they're going to stop and do another performance for us. And if you're watching online, tell us where you're watching from, and I'll give a shout out to you. Thank you so much for watching online on bayfield.org and on our Facebook page. Thank you to Bayfield Sweet and Salty. All right, here we go. That song, I recognize it, but now I can't think of what the name of it was. Here we go. All right behind the band, we have acting mayor Lynn Cornelius. She's been doing an awesome job as mayor, representing Bayfield in all the ways. So thank you so much to all of her hard work to help keep Bayfield running. Looks like she's in an awesome classic car. Is that a Model T? I'm not really good with the cars, so if somebody wants to correct me, feel free. I won't be offended. So, yeah, Lynn Cornelius, acting mayor. Really awesome. And then coming up right behind her, we have Beta Bodine, our Grand Marshal. And Beta is the president and CCO of Bodine Inc. So Bodine Fisheries, I'm sure all of you know, they have awesome fish. She also owns Sweet and Salty, owns Sweet Sailing. There's too many things that are sweet around here. Beta Bodine owns Sweet Sailing and has amazing fudge. She has amazing caramel apples. Looks like she has an apple in her hand. I'm not sure, but she's looking great. She's got some suckers that she's handing out to the crowd. She's walking and having a great time. Thank you, Beta. And then right behind her, Queen Madison Glazin from Northwind Organic Farm. Oh, she's got the Queen wave down pat. Look at that. That is awesome. She's a third generation Glazin. Doesn't she just look beautiful? This is awesome. She's also in an awesome classic car. I don't know what that is. If somebody wants to shout it out on our Facebook page, like, feel free, and we can do that. All right, we want to thank our royalty, and the royalty was sponsored by Bodine Fisheries. So thank you to Bodines for doing that for us. And our royalty every year is sponsored or is selected by folks who nominate them. So the Grand Marshal is selected based on, it's always a person who has done a lot for the community, and Beta Bodine has done so many things. She has served on so many important boards here around the Bayfield area, helping keep Bayfield going for many, many years. And the wind is picking waking up again, so we're kind of batting down the hatches, and I'm going to close my eyes and make sure that nothing comes into my eyes. we had a pamphlet kind of fly by us. I don't need to be slapped in the face with a Windseeker Realty pamphlet. I mean, wouldn't that just be too perfect? Whoa! All right. Coming up next, we have the Washburn High School band. They always put on a wonderful performance. Woo! Getting hit in the face by leaves. This is live, folks. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than that. All right. Woo. So we have the Washburn High School band director, Forrest Mann, and they have been coming for many, many years. There are neighbors just down the road, about 15 minutes. So we love to have them here. We love that they come out and support us here at Apple Festival. Here they go. The kids with the banner, they got quite the job this time around, trying to keep everything flowing. Hopefully their hats don't blow away. Oh my gosh.
On your camera.
It is truly a fall day here in Bayfield, Wisconsin. It's a great day still, but all right. Next, we have Erickson Orchards, and they won first place in the parade judging. So every year we have judges who judge the parade floats and give out awards, and there's 3 categories. So we have orchards, and we have visiting royalty, and businesses and nonprofits. So Erickson Orchards won first place, rightfully so, because they are telling a story here. Erickson Orchards, this is where Apple Festival really all began with Jim Erickson. He is the one that came up with the idea after he was traveling west to sell a truckload of apples out west, but his truck broke down in Duluth, or near Duluth. And while he was broken down on the side of the road, people started coming up and realizing that he had apples, and he starts selling the apples out of his truck. And that's when he realized there's a market here, Duluth, not so far, and then he realized not that many people knew that there were orchards in Bayfield. So that's and how else would we let people know that there are orchards in Bayfield than by putting on a huge festival honoring that? So that's why we're still here today, going strong 63 years later. And Erickson Orchards, so back to their float, or their display, I should say. This is really a story about them throughout the decades. And it looks like they have a horse and buggy kind of thing right after that. They're handing out apples to people, which is awesome. Look at that. And then they have a classic car. So cool. And I kind of got the backstory behind this horse and buggy situation. They were going to have a live horse on it, but that would have made a mess. And but also, horses don't really have brakes, and neither does that cart. So, this parade is all downhill. So they had to modify a bit. So I see they got a horse on a ATV, so they're set. And then look at this beauty of a classic car. Again, I'm not that great with the classic cars and what they are. Looks like it's a Ford for sure. I can see that much. So yeah, congratulations, Erickson Orchards. First place in the orchard category. I mean, look at this. This is quite the display. And if you haven't been up to Erickson's, they have the most awesome apple cider donuts and apple sticks. I mean, if you haven't tried one, you have to. They're also down here at Apple Festival. So after the parade, come on and get one. But again, I'm sorry to your folks who are watching at home, but I hope you're getting a sense of what it's like to really be here. I'm sitting here, the wind is blowing in my hair, so I hope I look majestic or something. And Yeah. All right. What else do we have here? Is it still Erickson Orchards? Wow, they really showed up today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floats. That is the most floats I have ever seen for one entity, which is amazing. They really went all out. And I know that the woman who has done the parade floats for Erickson Orchards, she told me that this was her last year doing it, so she's going out with a bang. And I hope that they just turn up like this next year. So that first place definitely well deserved. All right. You can't quite see them yet, but coming up behind them is the Cherry High School from Cherry, Minnesota. So they're going to be coming up soon. Again, I want to thank Sweet and Salty for allowing us to be up here coming to you live, the Apple Festival Grand Parade live from the roof. And thank you all for whoever is watching online on our website, bayfield.org, and on our Facebook page. I hope you're having as good of a time as I am, but it's less windy, I'm sure, where you are. So, but the wind is warm. It's great. It's actually not so bad. I love a little wind in my hair. All right, Cherry High School, and the band director there is Marie. Marie Freitas, and they've been coming to the Bayfield Apple Festival for quite a few years. They always put on a great show too.
Jeff. Right there.
Man, I'm blown away here, trying to keep my notes down. All right, I did ask where some of you are from. Has anybody answered? What do we got? Okay, we got people from Washburn watching, people from Bayfield, Poplar, Wisconsin, Redcliffe, Green Bay. Shout out to Green Bay. Mason, I'm guessing Wisconsin, and Cameron, Wisconsin. Awesome. I hope you're having a good time and are able to still get the feel for what it's like to really be here. Put a fan in front of your face and you'll really know what it's like to be here today. So, all right, here we have Hauser's Superior View Farm and Apple House Cidery. I'm sure they got second place. They did get second place in our orchard apple or parade contest. I suppose you could call it a contest. They're the only two orchards that consistently participate in the parade, and we are so thankful. We have about a little over a dozen berry farms and orchards here in Bayfield, in case you didn't know that, which is the reason why we're still here 63 years later hosting an apple festival. But Hauser's Superior View Farm, they have been doing amazing things. They're a five-generation farm established in 1908 and established Apple House Cidery. And they just built, Dane Hauser up there just built a brand new state-of-the-art cidery. And it has views of Lake Superior. It's an awesome place to have a drink, fresh from blossom to bottle. So that is Hauser's. And like I said, they've always participated in the parade, so we're glad that they're here. It looks like they have an apple pie with some crows. So that's an interesting concept. We'll have to ask them later where they got the idea for that one. And down here at Apple Festival, we also have a cider garden. That's new this year. Apple House Cidery is definitely a part of that. All right, coming up on your screen, we have Bayfield Lumber. This is their second year in the parade, and we're so happy to have them again. They're a family-owned and operated, serving the community for over a century. Not by the same family, I don't think, but the building where Apple House or the lumber company is has been there since the 1800s. So that's kind of a fun tidbit. All right, next we have Neil Schultz and friends in his souped-up Wow, CRU? I mean, look at that. That is a party. That's a party golf cart. We need one of those for Apple Festival and just drive around in that. There's a lounge in the back. Did you guys see that? Okay. They're off screen already. I'm sorry. Talking too much about the orchards. All right, next we have Ironwood School District. And the band director is Kirk McGregor. They've been coming also for the last couple of years. This is great. Thank you so much for being here. And then behind them, coming up, we have the Bayfield School Prom King and Queen in a truck, or at least the Queen. I'm not sure. I have in my notes it was the Prom King and Queen. I don't know. It's just the Queen, it looks like. She lost the King, which that happens. This is live, folks, so who knows what's... All right. And unfortunately, we don't have their names, so we're kind of at a standstill. The Bayfield High School band is kind of setting the pace of the parade here, and you know they like to show off, but hey, we'll let them. It's their hometown. They deserve it. All right, we have more people watching from Duluth. Hello in Duluth. Oro Valley, Arizona. Wow, that is awesome. Plainfield, Indiana, Griffin, Georgia, Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Okay, so we have Georgia watching, and I think I mentioned earlier, but I'll say it again. Oh no, that was Indiana. Never mind, wrong state. I get all those ones mixed up. They all, man, anything south of Illinois, I'm like, what are those states? I don't ever go there. But we're so happy you're here and you're online and watching. Thank you so much. I'll have to visit there sometime too. All right. I'm just going to adjust my notes and I will be right back.
Ready?
Okay, we just had the Ironwood. You just saw the Ironwood School District. Now we have the Bayfield School Prom King and Queen, but looks like it's just the Queen for now. Unless the King is wandering around, who knows? They tend to do that. League of Women Voters is right behind her. So the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization which was created in 1920 by the leaders of the women's suffrage movement. All right, and we're so glad that they're here to help expand voter participation. They always are here helping us out and marching in the parade. So this is great. Defending democracy, marching for democracy. That's what some of their signs say down there. All right. Up next, right behind, we have Northwestern High School, and they have been coming to Bayfield for 32 years. They love to do performances here. The band director is Michael Hintzman. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you enjoy their performance for a minute. right. So as I said, that's Northwestern High School Mass Band. They have been participating in the Apple Festival Parade for 32 years, and they're going to be part of the Mass Band later. And they just love coming and showing off a little bit. They do performances throughout the year, and I believe their next performance is going to be at their homecoming. So that'll be a good one. All right, so right behind them, coming on screen here is going to be Citizens Climate Action Lobby, the Shawamigan chapter, and they are carrying a big, beautiful blue and green replica of Mother Earth. And so their message is, love your Mother Earth. And speaking of mothers, I hear that my mom is watching. Hi, Mom. Thanks for supporting me. So we have I'm from Mercer, Wisconsin. All right, coming on screen now a little bit more. You can see Mother Earth here with the Citizens Climate Action Lobby. They're with their message of love your Mother Earth. Citizens Climate Lobby is a nonpartisan grassroots organization, and they have volunteer work that influence national climate policy by working with members of Congress. They're handing out flyers and all of that down here. And of course, I'm sure you can look them up online for more information on how to get involved in your local chapter. All right, I just want to say thank you again to Sweet and Salty. We're on their roof right now, and we would not be able to have this great of a view without them. And if you have not been to Sweet and Salty, they have candy, ice cream, popcorn. My favorite is chocolate chip cookie dough in their homemade waffle cone. So I cannot even eat another waffle cone now that's from the store because they home make their waffle cones and it's amazing. So get the waffle cone, get a waffle bowl, put whatever you want in it, and take your taste buds for a ride. All right, next up we have the River Road Ambassadors. And so this is visiting royalty. We always have, as we have the Apple Festival Queen, other towns have queens and princesses and things like that, and they always turn up for our parade, so that's awesome. So we have Emily, Sierra, Olympia, and Savannah. These are the ambassadors for the River Road, and they want you to know that in September 2026, they celebrate River Road Ramble with historical stops, sales, orchards, and music. So be able to check that out. All right. All right, we got another band. Looks like Ashland High School with their color guard. Jared Sharang is Sharang. Potato. But Jared Sharang is the director for the Ashland Area High School Band, another one of our neighbors, so we're so happy that they're here. Thank you. All right, where else did we have people watching from? Looks like somebody's watching from Bayfield, so they didn't want to fight the crowd and come down here. Watching from Topanga, California. Oh, wow, that's awesome. So glad that we're able to bring you the Apple Festival Parade live on Bayfield.org and on our Facebook page. Follow for more interesting and fun things about Bayfield and Apple Festival. Right, as I said, we give out a couple of awards in different categories for being in the Apple Festival Parade. And we have another award winner coming up right behind the Ashland School District Band here, who is the Lions Club. And it looks like the River Road Ambassadors did mention they got third place in the visiting royalty. And then the Iron River Lions Club received Judge's Choice Award, which means out of all the floats, the judges decided that this float was the best. So it is pretty awesome. So I'm just gonna pause for a second so I don't get hit in the face with a flying leaf, or who knows? Hopefully not a flying apple, like a man. All right, here comes the Iron River Lions Club that won Judge's Choice in our parade awards. So we have, they invite you to join them for their annual Blueberry Festival, always held on the 4th weekend of July. Not the 4th of July, the 4th weekend in July. Representing the Lions Club are the Blueberry Fest royalty for 2025 and 2026. We have Queen Aubrey, Princess Remy, and Prince Samir. Oh my gosh, they're so adorable. Look at that. That's a pretty good one. And they hope they'll join them for the 2026 Blueberry Festival held at beautiful Moon Lake Park in Iron River, Wisconsin. And again, those wind gusts, I mean, they can be 30 to 40 miles an hour. I'm looking out over by the lake, and there's whitecaps out there right now. So, oh my goodness. So it's a windy one up here. So if the cameras are shaking a little bit, have no fear. They're battened down. We're good to go. So, all right. Here we have Rib Lake High School. Oh, Rib Lake. They are a crowd favorite. They always have such a great show. The band director, Matthew Robish. And they've been also coming to Bayfield for more than 30 years. And maybe you'll recognize the song, Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll. Over on Lake Superior crashing, and I can just see the dust like swirling. All right, here we got a Northwood Technical College fire truck. Yes, we have their police car and an ambulance, so they always turn up really nice for us too. So Northwood College in Ashland. So thank you so much for being here. we suddenly go off camera, I'll give it a little notice, but we may have to pause for just a little bit while it rains. I'm trying to keep my papers down. But in the meantime, we can look at the lovely Northwood Tech law enforcement training vehicles. We have an ambulance. They brought their fire truck, which is awesome. I think this is another great time to thank our sponsors, Sweet and Salty. Sweet and Salty, thank you so much for letting us be on your roof on this very blustery day. We could turn that down a notch, but hey, it's all right. It's still really warm. As I had mentioned, this is the first Apple Festival I've been able to wear shorts and a t-shirt. So, and some of the other vendors were also commenting on the same thing. All right. Now we have Hurley High School coming down the hill. Director is Jessica Kane. Thank you so much to Hurley. They're not too far away. Only about an hour or so from Bayfield, which is great. We have lots of people here. They're still buying their caramel apples, their gyros I'm seeing are starting to look pretty good right about now. Cheese curds. I just tried French fries with cinnamon apple cinnamon French fries, which is great. All right, well, at least they're letting people pass down here. Hopefully people can stay out of the way. All right. Again, thank you to I want to also thank Bayfield Wireless for keeping us connected all festival long. Bayfield Wireless has been working for the last several weeks to make sure that our vendors are all set with Wi-Fi so they can do their electronic transactions, and also helping us do this live stream and make sure we have a strong signal for that. So thank you to Bayfield Wireless for setting all of this up for us so we can broadcast live the parade to you guys everywhere who are watching from all corners of the nation, really. We had Georgia, Indiana, California, different parts of Wisconsin, Illinois. It's so great to see so many people interested in the Grand Parade, the 63rd annual parade. And there he is, Bayfield Wireless is just down there. Hope you heard me through all the winds. All right, it's starting to get a little cloudy. We're not sure if the rain is going to happen or not. You just never know on Lake Superior. Here we have the Hurley High School marching band coming down the way with Jessica Kane as their director. Thank you so much for being here. They have awesome shirts, uniforms. All right. And right behind them is the Milltown Royalty. Milltown. Oh, I know there was a little bit of a change of the parade lineup last minute. So this actually might be the raspberries. But it's just off camera. Oh, nope, we're gonna keep in time. All right, this looks like the raspberries, which is awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Unfortunately, don't have her name. It's a 4-H club, so we'd love to see that. There's It's beautiful. Great vehicle too. And then we have the Bad River Tiny Tot Princess. So adorable. Thanks so much for being here. All right, now we have Carlin's Drum and Apple Corps celebrating, 50 years. They're originally known as Carlin's Gallery Apple Corps. They've been marching in the parade since, we don't actually know, but before 1979 is the best information that I have. And in the early days, there were two that would eat. There were two of these cores. They would eat the apple, and then they would toss the apple cores into the crowd. I'm really glad they don't do that anymore, but they were also joined by Beta Bodine, our Grand Marshal. Man, she just loves this parade. She couldn't get enough. She had to go down another time. Wow, but she looks so good in that hat. She's got to show off that hat. So these cores, the apple core costumes, are handmade. I really wanted to wear one, but I guess I have not been inaugurated as an official apple core, so I guess that'll be a thing on my to-do list for next year. They always have a lot of fun with their little band and dancing down Rittenhouse Avenue. So they're always proud to carry Carlin's banner. For those of you who know Carlin Yellowbird Gallery in Washburn, this is kind of where this group all comes from. It's very art related. All right, now we have Milltown Royalty, and they won first place in their float for visiting royalty. Well, I can see why. And look at that wave. Wow, that's a real professional. And they're in sync. All right. I think they are deserving of that first place royalty award. So Milltown is known for Fisherman's Day, which is the last day in June. Miss Milltown, which we have on the float, is Rosemary Thompson, and we have Princess Emma Stepanowski. And then Little Miss Milltown is Henrietta Stokes Hoffbeck. I only see two of them, but they gave me three names, so maybe the little one couldn't make it. But look at that wave, folks. That is amazing. All right, Milltown. Got to go there for Fisherman's Day. All right. Now we have Olivet Dance Studio. I can never say the name, and I don't know why. But they are just out of Washburn, so they are dancing up a storm. This is great. And guess what I hear just up the hill? The pipes and drums of Thunder Bay. They're coming down, folks, so stay tuned. In the meantime, look at these dancers. They look so sweet. On their truck, it says, dance your heart out. Eat, sleep, dance, repeat. Yeah, and they definitely do. So great. Okay, now we have Pete Sikolich in his classic car. I can never remember what it is, so I'm not even going to say it because I know I'll say it wrong. And man, I do not want to get these classic car names mixed up because I need them to come back. They're a great little buffer, as you can see, between some of the music. We have a lot of music in this parade. So Pete Sikolich is in front here, which is awesome. He has helped carry the Queen in that beautiful car of his for several years, or the Grand Marshal. Behind him are two of his other friends that he brought with him, showing off their cars. I'm not a car person, so if anybody knows what these cars are, feel free to say it in the comments. Look at that, is a nice black, I think that's a Pontiac. I need a car guy up here with me, helping me with the announcing if we're going to keep having these vintage cars, classic cars, and just all around awesome. It's a coupe, it looks like, is the black one. And then look at this, the red one with the flames, the blue flames. That's awesome. All right, now what everybody loves is the pipes and drums of Thunder Bay. They do several performances for us around Apple Festival. So on Saturday morning, they always do a wake up concert at Port Superior Marina. That's always a great time. And then they also help us with the Queen coronation down Rittenhouse Avenue on Saturday night, which is always a fun time. And then after that, they just go around town telling funny stories. We got to hear some of those funny stories, which I can't repeat now on camera because, man, these Canadians, I tell ya, they want to have a good time. Let's just say that. All right, shout out to Sweet and Salty for letting us be on the roof. Sweet and Salty, thank you so much. We have the best view of the parade, in my opinion. So thank you so much for letting us be up here. If you have not tried one of their homemade waffle cones, Sweet and Salty, you're not living. You have to go and get one. You will never be able to have a regular waffle cone after that. All right, here we have the Dog Center from Washburn. Hourly care for traveling dogs. That is awesome. We get a lot of questions about that. So we love that they're there. They take really good care of your pets. If you're visiting from out of town and you need someone to take care of your dog while you go and enjoy some of the great attractions that we have, check out the Dog Center. They might be able to help you out. They also have a great indoor play area. All right, who do we have coming up here? Looks like should be Balsam Lake royalty. Look at these royalty and the wave. I gotta perfect that. I would if I had to, if my other hand is busy keeping my script in place so it doesn't rip off and hit me in the face. So, all right, we have Balsam Lake royalty carrying the Queen Kylie and Princess Tia, Junior Miss Audrey and Junior Princess April, Little Miss Callie and Junior Princess Clara in Brinley. Man, that is a loaded truck full of royalty. Dang. I think second place in the visiting royalty category. And next year, in Freedom, Wisconsin, for Freedom Fest, the first weekend in July at Balsam Lake. So we have, there's all kinds of festivals throughout Wisconsin in the summer. So the first weekend in July, Balsam Lake. And then there was something else the fourth weekend in July. You'll have to just press rewind at the end of this and watch the beginning to figure out that one was. All right. Now we have Lake Effect Dance, and they're doing some great dance moves in the blue shirts. They're just off screen yet, but they're coming down the hill. And I'm going to interrupt this while we wait for them to come on screen with just a little more of a weather update. It's cloudy. The wind is still picking up. It's actually cooled down a bit. I might have to even put on a jacket. I'm not sure. You might need a wardrobe change. The lake out there, I still see some pretty wavy, still seeing some white caps. The rain holds off for all of us so we can still continue to bring you the grand parade live here from the roof of Sweet and Salty in downtown Bayfield on Rittenhouse Avenue. All right, we got Lake Effect Dance. We thank them so much for their performance. They're just hanging on. There we go. Look at that. Woo! They even got the little one in the bag. She's doing great. They're all doing so great. And I'm guessing these other two women with the dog are with the Lake Effect Dance. studio. Otherwise, they're just in the parade. Okay, now we have Drummond Marching Band. Look at that. Hosted by Lincoln Hasman, performing Apple by Charlie XCX. Not sure. Let's take a listen.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy, I felt a raindrop. And here's the rain, folks. So I think we're still gonna push through this. So not only is it gonna be a little windy, it's gonna get a little bit, but that always seems to happen here on the shores of Lake Superior. You just never know. You never know. So if it gets to be too terrible, we may have to sign off. But we'll keep going as long as we can. We have the Drummond Marching Band. We're coming back. We got snazzy uniforms that were donated because of donors at Camp David Realty Bayfield. All right. Woo! It is windy. It suddenly got a little chilly. We're getting rained on. People are scattering. They're like, oh no. All right. Covered. Coming up, we have Hauser's Bayfield cabin, which is covered in some leaves and a bunch of stickers. I don't even know who's driving that thing, but I do know it's Rip Hauser, and I can see that he's tooting his own horn as usual, playing his trumpet. Hopefully, that's some talent, trying to play the trumpet and drive at the same time. And as you can see, it's raining a little harder. If you're watching at home now, you need a fan and a shower if you really want the true effect, if you want the full effect of what it's like to be here in Bayfield right now for the 63rd Annual Apple Festival Parade. Okay. My notes, I should have had a plastic screen. Woo! Okay, where are we at now? We have the Sierra Club, and they won first place for the awards. They the River Made of People, advocating for water protection, water-related songs on their plate, water-related songs on repeat. Look at this, we have Northland Egg. This is awesome. They are a sponsor of Apple Festival, and we really appreciate that. This is the most amazing truck display, and we have two of their enclosed ATVs, which we have big festival. So this is wonderful. Love that they showed up to show off a little bit in the parade. Northland Egg and Turf. Awesome. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. Speaking of sponsors, Sweet and Salty. If you need some ice cream, candy, or popcorn, you can find them on Rittenhouse. And thank you so much for helping us be on the roof. Oh, all right. Now we have the Marshall School band from Duluth. Grant Studer is the band director. Look at this. Awesome. All right. Then coming down right after Duluth Marshall School, we have panels and Volkswagen. This is great. They have a golf cart, solar powered golf carts. Looks like they're handing out some apples. That's amazing. All right. So the wind is kind of died down a little bit. We should have a few others. We got Sterling Silver Studio coming up here with their performance. It's starting to rain, so people are dispersing a little bit here. We're getting rained on, folks. Of course, it's been gorgeous all weekend. All weekend. I'm just gonna grab a little jacket here. It also cooled down a bit. All right, we're back. I have my sweater on. It's not waterproof, but you know, we do our best here because you just never know what the weather's going to be like here in beautiful Bayfield, Wisconsin. Look at this. We got Sterling Silver Studio for 35th anniversary, and there we got the Fun Baton and Fiery Baton Twirlers. This is awesome. Take me by the heart when you take me by the hand. Yeah, playing the Mickey song. Awesome. We always love having them, and they're so talented with the flames. So make sure hopefully the crowd stays back. They're from Superior, Wisconsin. Not really sure if their team is there. They don't have lucky Beetlejuice, because that looks like a Beetlejuice guy. A small one. I know that was like a very pretty popular a few months ago. They redid that movie. All right, look at all these girls. All ages. This is wonderful. Even the little ones. Look how cute they are. You want to dance with somebody? Feel free. Dance with whoever you want. All right, I know people are dispersing, but we do have the mass band is next, and it is coming. So we just got to give a little bit of time. So the mass band is going to be coming down the way here in just a few minutes. With the kids situated at the top of the hill. We have the mass band and banner, and that is driven in a Kubota, and the Kubotas were donated by Lulit Implements. Thank you so much, Lulit, for donating these for and sponsoring these for Apple Festival. They have proven to be very helpful, very helpful. All right, so hopefully you don't go anywhere. We're going to come back and have a mass band for you live. Well, I want to just thank again all of our sponsors of Apple Festival. We really couldn't do this without their support. I want to thank again Sweet and Salty right here in Bayfield. They got popcorn, they got candy, they got ice cream. The best, in my opinion, homemade waffle cones you'll ever have. And I also want to thank the Bayfield. They have been a major supporter of our Music Match Fund, which helps us bring you live music at two venues, one at the Grandstand Stage here on Richmond Avenue and another at Memorial Park. So we really couldn't do that without them. That's a $10,000 fund, and we just have to raise $10,000 to match that, so $20,000, and that just covers some of the costs of bringing some awesome music here to Bayfield. I hope that you have enjoyed this. It's going to be a few minutes yet until the mass band shows up. People are already dispersing. I know it's difficult to to be patient these days. But we'll be patient. They're getting ready up at the top of the hill. Do you want me to keep talking? All right. So I'm gonna just do a little filler here. Again, I want to thank all of our volunteers who have helped us throughout these last 3 days and even before that, because this is really a year-round effort to put on Apple Festival. It takes a lot of planning, and sometimes no matter how much you plan, you can't plan that it's going to rain at 3 o'clock during the parade. So, but you know what? We take it in stride. I'm still having a good time. The wind actually died down now that the rain came, so that's not so bad. Seeing some white caps out there, and it's cooling things down a little bit. I think we did need a little bit of a cool down. It's been hot the last couple of days here at Apple Festival. And we've had a lot of great foods. We've had a lot of fun. Yesterday, we had the apple peeling contest, and a new record was set here at Apple Festival for the longest peel. The new record now set is 442 inches. It's the longest apple peel that has been peeled here in Bayfield, anyways. We'll have to see. Wow, one of those wind gusts that's 40 or 50 miles an hour. Woo! We're trying to keep all of our equipment down. We're trying to keep it dry. All right. So as I was saying, a new record for the apple peeling contest, and the woman who peeled that is Patricia Hostetler from Goshen, Indiana. And she has apparently done this at county fairs and other festivals in Indiana, or maybe even across the country, because she came here specifically to Apple Festival just to do the apple peeling contest. She is a firecracker of a woman, and she even brought her own chair, her own turkey plate, so that, she had enough space to peel. She also participated last year as her first year in the full peeling contest. So she beat last year's record, blew that out of the water, and beat our record for 2009, which was 387 inches. So new record now is 442 inches. We'll see how many years it takes for somebody to do that. Oh, maybe she'll come back next year and do the record. I don't know. Woo, that's so good. Whoa! So, look, if you want to really get in the element and enjoy this at home, put yourself in front of a fan, and then also just add some water, and you'll be right here with you. So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't get much better than that. All right. So as I was saying, the apple peeling contest, we have a new record set. Patricia Hofstetter. The second place with 212 inches was Brett Leakey from St. Paul. And then in third place with 147 inches was Maria Pine from Minneapolis. And then we also have a youth category. And the youth category, we had the first place winner was 107 inches, Connor Hendrick from Eau Claire. 62. Second place was 62 inches, Sierra from Hermantown. And then third place was 58 inches, which was Audrey Hendrick from Eau Claire. I think it was a brother and sister, first and third place brother and sister duo. So it was great. All right, we are anxiously waiting for the mass band to come down. They do need a few minutes to get organized. I mean, this is 8 bands that get organized. It's so easy to organize them. Can you imagine that over 100 and some odd kids with instruments and whatnot, trying to get them organized for the mass band? So that'll be coming up here. Hopefully the crowd won't disturb too much. But hey, we got people watching live. Looks like at least 144 right now. So thank you so much for being here with us. And we have had people from all over the country tune in to watch, which is awesome. I saw California, my mom from Mercer, Wisconsin, Duluth, Minnesota, all kinds of people. I got people waving at me. So this is great. Um, and a little bit of, I said it, I'll say it again. I was doing some research and I had a little history about the mass band. I'm just going to use my arm here to go back to that page of my notes so I don't get anything wrong. But the mass band started in 1987 and started playing on Wisconsin, which that's what they'll do today. And today we'll have 8 schools participating in the mass band. And I want to thank Bill and Marilyn Van Zant. When bands participate in this, they all get a shirt. And Bill and Marilyn Van Zant have sponsored that shirt, which is really great. That helps offset the cost from 100 over almost 500 shirts. So that's what they typically have. So again, great. All right. Thought I heard something, maybe not. But they're getting organized up there, so it'll just be a few more minutes until they're on. We also had, last night was the Queen party here in Madison Rosin, who is the Queen from Northwood Organic Farm. She's a third generation, and she is just the sweetest, really sweet. And then we also had our Grand Marshal, Beta Bodine, President and CEO of Bodine Inc. And she has been so much fun throughout the weekend. She helped us with the apple peeling contest. She's been at all the events. She's such a great supporter of Apple Festival. She also owns Sweet Sailing and Brownstone Center, so check out those stores if you're in Bayfield ever. She has also won the pie and dessert contest. We always hold the pie and dessert contest on the Wednesday before the full week before Apple Festival. To kind of get a great way to kick off Apple Festival. We had about 33 pies in the contest. That would have been a week and a half ago now. Beta Bodine won in her category with her apple pie. So head on down to Sweet Sailing for some great apple pie. She also has amazing fudge and taffy. All right, I'm hearing stuff, folks. I think it's the band, though. It's the band. Not the mass band, the band down at the grandstand stage. So, we're coming up on 3:23. I'm guessing they're still getting organized. We have a lot of people still milling about. They're getting dry. They're getting more food, which I'm gonna have to do after this. Man, all this talking makes me hungry. And some of the best things here at Apple Festival, of course, if you like hard cider, head on down to the cider garden. I'm talking as if you're going to do that. If you're watching from California, you're not going to be able to do that. But this year is the first year we had the cider garden. We also had a petting zoo here with some Highland Valley cows and some goats and chickens, and that was great. Now I hear the mass band. All right, I know you guys are. I'm starting to get sick of talking. But this has been really fun. I'm so glad and I'm grateful to have had this opportunity to tell you and bring you the Apple Festival Grand Parade live from the group of Sweet and Salty. And the mass band is going to be coming down the way in just a minute. I hear them. So the anticipation is don't leave. And if text your friends, tell them to get on this live stream on Bayfield.org or on Facebook, which is great. All right, it stopped raining or so. It was just sprinkling a little bit, so not too bad. But man, it is still a windy one up here in Bayfield, and that can happen. And people always ask, they're like, "What's the weather like in Bayfield on Apple Festival?" Well, it could be 80 degrees, which it was. It could be 8 degrees, which it has been. So you just never know. You gotta dress for all the occasions. We're just grateful that it was. All right, I'm starting to see the lights. The mass band is coming down the road, and we got people. Yep, people keeping the crowd back, which is awesome. You think that when fire trucks are coming at you, you might get out of the way, but you know. Oh wait, it's the. And it looks like we have a grand marshal once again. This is our third time in the parade. She is coming down with the mass band. This is amazing. Data. This is awesome. This is dressed for the occasion. I love her hat. All right, she is leading the mass band. I wonder, she grew up around here. I wonder if she ever participated in this. I forgot to ask her. But I know she is an avid skier, which is why she has so much energy. Swimmer, again, she's very active. So this is her third time walking down in the parade, which is awesome. All right, I'm gonna sign off and let you guys listen. All right, well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. That was a massive band going by. It's officially the end of Apple Festival. Another year in the books. We still got a little more time, but we are going to be doing a raffle drawing. So if you bought a raffle ticket, maybe on Friday or Saturday, that raffle drawing is going to be happening at 5 o'clock. Thank you once again to Sweet and Salty for letting us be on the roof and helping us bring you the Apple Festival Grand Parade live. Signing off, this is Katie Anderson.